Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise is an open-world racing video game developed by Criterion Games and published by Electronic Arts. It is the fifth entry in the Burnout series. The game was released in January 2008 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and on the 5th of February 2009 for Microsoft Windows. It was also released on the PlayStation Store in September 2008 and via Xbox Live Marketplace's Games on Demand the 25th of August 2009. It was later added to the libraries of Greatest Hits and Platinum Hits titles and was made backward compatible with the Xbox One in November 2016. It is the first game in the Burnout series to be released on PC. Paradise's gameplay is set in the fictional Paradise City, an open world in which players can compete in several types of races. Players can also compete online, which includes additional game modes, such as Cops and Robbers. Several free game updates introduce new features such as a time of day cycle and motorcycles. The game also features paid downloadable content in the form of new cars and the fictional Big Surf Island. The game was very well received upon release, with aggregate score sites Game Rankings reporting an average score of 88% and Metacritic reporting an average score of 88 out of 100. The game won several awards in 2008, with Spike TV, Game Trailers, and GameSpot all awarding it Best Driving Game. Reviewers felt the game had an excellent sense of speed, and praised the open-world gameplay. A first for the Burnout series. A remastered version, including all downloadable content and support for higher resolution displays, is scheduled for release on the 16th of March 2018 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The remastered version will arrive later for Windows via EA's Origin platform. Gameplay. Burnout Paradise is set in an open-world environment. Players have the opportunity to progress at their own pace and level. The game, unlike others, is not actually set to a rigid gameplay framework. According to Alex Ward, creative director of the game at developer Criterion Games, this game is a complete reinvention of the Burnout series. He also said, to create truly next-generation gameplay, we needed to create a truly next-generation game from the ground up. Initially day and night cycles were not included in the game, but a software update entitled Davis added this element to the game. For the first time in the series, records are now kept on a player's driver's license, including statistics such as fastest time and biggest crash for every street in the game. In previous Burnout games, Crash Mode was a dedicated mode in which players were given scenarios in which to cause the biggest crash. In Burnout Paradise, Crash Mode, now called Showtime, can be initiated at any time and place in the game. Showtime does differ from the previous incarnation of Crash Mode, being that instead of crashing into a busy intersection and watching a crash play out, Showtime has you bounce the vehicle around for as long as possible to gain points. During a race, players may now take any route to get to the destination. Races and other events are started by simply stopping at any of the traffic lights and applying the accelerator and brake at the same time. The game features the ability to customize race settings, such as traffic, race routes, and including/excluding cars based on their boost types. Paradise's damage system has also been reworked. There are now two different types of crashes based on the car's condition after the crash. If the player's car manages to retain all four wheels and does not break its chassis, the player can drive out of the crash and continue playing. This is called a drive-away. If a player's car loses any wheels, the engine is damaged too much from an impact, the car lands on its side or roof, or lands outside of the game's map, the car is in a wrecked state and the player will have to wait until their car is reset. Cars dynamically compress and deform around objects they crash into. Cars now have manufacturer and model names, which are loosely based on real-world cars. Cars may not be tuned up or customized apart from color changes, which may be done in real time by driving through the forecourt of a paint shop, or by selecting the color during vehicle selection. Other real-time changes include driving through the forecourt of a gas station to automatically refill the vehicle's boost meter, and driving through the forecourt of the repair shop to automatically repair the vehicle. Multiplayer. The online lobby system used by most video games has been replaced by a streamlined system known as Easy Drive. While driving, players simply hit right on the D-pad and the Easy Drive menu appears in the corner of their screen. From there, players are able to invite other players from their friends list. Once friends have joined the game, the host can select the event to play. A mugshots camera feature is available for the PC via webcam, PlayStation 3 via a PS3-compatible webcam, and Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Vision. When a player is taken down, their photo, or mugshot, is shown to the aggressor, and vice versa. These photos can then be saved to the PC, or console's storage device. Updates. Burnout Paradise has undergone significant changes since its initial release. These have been implemented through several free patches and downloadable packs. The first major update, codenamed Bogart, fixed several glitches and was scheduled to be released on the 24th of April 2008. However, it was made available to Xbox 360 users on the 18th of April 2008 and to PlayStation 3 users on the originally scheduled date of the 24th of April 2008. However, this removed store-exclusive cars from being obtainable. The Cagney update was released on schedule on the 10th of July 2008 for PlayStation 3 and on the 4th of August 2008 for the Xbox 360. The update introduces 3 new Freeburn multiplayer modes: Online Stunt Run, Marked Man, and Road Rage. Online Stunt Run involves up to 8 players who simultaneously compete for the highest stunt score within 2 minutes. Road Rage features 2 teams. One must race to a checkpoint while the other tries to stop them through takedowns. Marked Man is like a game of tag, with one player as the marked man who cannot see the other players and has no boost. In addition, there are 70 new online challenges. These new challenges are different from Freeburn challenges, being timed. Timed challenges start once all players gather at a point of interest. The players then must all complete an objective within a certain time, such as jumping a ramp. Cagney also brought custom soundtracks and 1080i support to the PlayStation 3 version. On the 23rd of April 2008 it was announced that motorbikes and night-day cycles would appear in the Bikes pack, along with tailored locations, challenges and game modes. Criterion Games announced on the 5th of August 2008 that the update would also feature a new dynamic weather system, 2 starter bikes in the player's junkyard, 70 new bike-only challenges, and special midnight rides challenges that appear only at night. The Bikes pack was released on the 18th of September 2008 on both the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. On the 25th of September 2008 another update was made available which introduced support for the PlayStation 3 trophies system. Criterion Games originally stated that the trophies could be awarded retroactively to players who had already made certain achievements. However, when the update was released they stated that this had proved to be impossible and that users would have to start a new game in order to achieve some of the goals. On the 5th of February 2009, Criterion released the free 1.6 update, which includes the addition of an in-game browser for the PC and PlayStation 3 versions, which gives users access to the Criterion Games network. An in-game store was also added to all versions, which allows users to purchase content from within the game. Windows version. Burnout Paradise is the first game in the Burnout series to be released for the PC. Criterion made use of existing graphics technology and introduced enhanced visuals and the ability to play the game across multiple monitors to enhance widescreen playing. Players can link 3:4:3 monitors to play in a polyvision aspect ratio. PC users are also able to download a trial version of the game for free. It includes the entire map and 3 cars, but will expire after 30 minutes. All saved data will be carried over if the user decides to purchase the full game. Marketing and release. A demo was made available on the 18th of December 2007 for both PlayStation 3 via PlayStation Store and Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Marketplace. On the 4th of January through the 14th of January, Criterion raised the maximum number of players for the online free Burn in the Paradise demo to 8 players. With it, a total of 13 new free Burn challenges were made available for players to attempt. On the 25th of September 2008, Criterion announced that Paradise would be made available for download on the PlayStation Store. Upon installation and first execution, all updates would also be downloaded and installed, which gives the player to have the latest version of Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise features in-game advertisements for a number of brands, including Burger King, JL Audio, Nvidia, Gillette, Vizio, CompUSA, and IVGA. From the 6th of October 2008, in-game billboards featured ads for the then United States Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama. Electronic Arts confirmed that the Obama campaign paid for the advertisements, marking the first time that a United States presidential candidate has bought in-game advertising. The Obama campaign ran only on the Xbox 360 version of the game. On the 22nd of November 2016, the Xbox 360 version of Burnout Paradise was made available for backward compatibility with the Xbox One. On the 16th of December, it was made available to Xbox Live Gold members for free until 31 December. Downloadable content. In addition to the free updates, Criterion has released several optional, premium packs that add content like new cars, areas and modes. The first update was announced as the Burnout Party Pack, and launched on the 5th of February 2009 in North America and the United Kingdom. It focuses on single-console multiplayer gameplay, which offers a free burn challenge-like setting, but for players on the same console, who pass a single controller between players to complete challenges. The challenges are split into speed, stunt and skill with up to 8 rounds, and up to 8 players can play at once. Criterion in addition also announced the combo pack Burnout Paradise, the ultimate box that launched around the same time, which contains the original game, plus the Cagney, Bikes, Party Pack and Update Pack all in the same package, which contained a mountain of new refinements. On the 7th of November 2008, Criterion announced the first premium content pack called Legendary Cars. The pack features 4 cars inspired by famous vehicles from film and television: the Janssen P1288 Special, the Hunter Manhattan Spirit, the Carson GT Nighthawk, and the Hunter Cavalry Bootlegger. The Legendary Cars pack was released on the 19th of February 2009 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and later in 2009 for the PC. On the 5th of March 2009, Criterion announced the release of the Toy Cars pack. It features a collection of new vehicles designed with a toy car aesthetic, although modeled as full-size cars. The Toy Cars pack has been released in 3 packs. The full pack offers all toy cars along with the Nakamura Firehawk, a toy motorcycle, while the others split the content into 2 parts, minus the Firehawk. On the 12th of March 2009, the Boost Specials pack was released. It featured 2 cars, the Carson Extreme Hot Rod and the Montgomery Hawker Mech. The Carson was described as the fastest car in the game, and featured a locked boost. The car continues to boost until it is brought to a stop in any manner. The vehicle dynamics system were rewired so that the Carson performs more realistically than any other car in the game. The Montgomery Hawker Mech also featured a unique boost system, which allows the player to willingly switch between the 3 different boost types at the touch of a button. On the 6th of February 2009, via the Criterion Games Network, Criterion announced the Cops and Robbers pack, which was released the 30th of April 2009 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The content does not involve AI police patrol cars, but instead borrows from the Cops and Robbers modes of older Burnout games, notably Burnout 2, Point of Impact. Players are split into teams. The Cops and the Robbers teams attempt to return gold bars to their respective bases to score points. Every Paradise car receives a police livery with the content, originally announced as the Eastwood Pack coming in fall 2008. The expansion known as Big Surf Island was released the 11th of June 2009. Design for the island was guided by the principle of, if you can see it, you can drive it. The island puts emphasis on the playground aspect of Burnout. The developers mentioned that in their telemetry they noticed that players congregate in areas of Paradise City that lend themselves to stunt driving, and so the idea was to create an entire island to accommodate player desire. Big Surf Island also features new vehicles, which includes the Carson Dust Storm Buggy, a car tailor-made for stunts. In addition to the Dust Storm Buggy, 2 specially featured cars, the Hunter Olympus, Governor, and the Carson Annihilator Street Rod are also included. The unlockable cars also include toy versions of all 4 legendary cars, pack vehicles, and a special Janssen P12 Diamond awarded once all 500 free burn challenges were completed. It features several new events, billboards, smash gates, and mega jumps. New trophies and achievements were also added along with a new Big Surf Island license to obtain. The Cops and Robbers Pack and Big Surf Island were never released for PC. Remastered version. EA announced in February 2018 that a remastered version of Burnout Paradise will be released for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles on the 16th of March 2018. A version for Windows will arrive later via its origin platform. The remaster contains all the previously released downloadable content, except for the Time Savers Pack, and support for higher resolution monitors with 60 frames per second support. Critical reception. Upon release, Burnout Paradise was met with very positive reviews. Aggregating review websites Game Rankings and Metacritic gave the Xbox 360 version 88.36% and 88/100ths, the PlayStation 3 version 87.89% and 87/100ths, and the PC version 88.09% and 87/100ths, respectively. Reviewers praised the game's open world, stating, "Burnout Paradise is an amazing open-world racing game that stays true to the Burnout legacy, but that the large world may feel a little daunting at first." New gameplay mechanics such as gas stations and body repair shops were also praised, which mitigate potential frustration when the heat is on. Hyper's Daniel Wilkes commends the game for its great sense of speed and things that go boom. IGN's Chris Roper praised the vehicle unlock system, which gives the player a new vehicle with each license, and also gives the player the opportunity to take down certain vehicles, which earns the player a reward if completed. He further lauded the game as controlled chaos. However, some reviewers were disappointed that there was no option to restart a race or event. Instead, the player had to either fail the event or cancel the race by bringing the vehicle to a stop for a few seconds, and then return to the specific place on the map to try that particular race or event again. Criterion responded to this criticism by stating that they don't feel that this is a problem and that adding a retry option would introduce loading screens, which they hate with a passion. Despite this, the option to restart an event was later added to the game via a free software update. Eurogamer found DJ Atomica, the game's guide, to be instantly dislikable. Legacy. Burnout Paradise was put on the list of Xbox One backwards compatible titles in November 2016. It was also made free for Xbox Live Gold members from 16 December until 31 December of that year. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?